Hey, community. Hey, Intuitivo community. Ricardo Rojas. I'm very happy to be in this new podcast now for this new year 2023. I'm very excited to have a newcomer here, a new guest, Renato Becker. Renato Becker is a product management technical senior product manager from RocketChat. Um, I don't know, Renato, you can present yourself and give a little bit of your introduction yourself. I'm very happy for you to be here.
Yeah, likewise. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ricardo. Yes, I am Renato Becker. Um, first, first of all, I just wanted to say I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me here. I hope we can produce something useful for your community and your audience. So, in terms of background, and by the way, I'm from Brazil, very southern Brazil. I'm very near to Argentina and Uruguay. So, and in terms
And the
of
best
my,
team in Brazil, Grêmio.
yeah, yes, exactly. Suarez is here now. So, sorry. Yes, in terms of my technical background, I've been working for Rocket Chat, right, for about 5 years. A little bit of context: Rocket Chat is the world's largest open source communication platform. I believe we'll talk more about that as you go. I graduated back in 2007 and 17. I have a degree in digital information systems. And yes, I spent a lot of time in college. Please don't do that. Yes, and like thousands of product managers, my career in tech companies started on the engineering side of
Yeah.
products, right? Since the beginning, I wanted to solve problems, and I wanted to use technology to help people to be more efficient and to solve their own problems. So, yes, throughout my journey, I've been in different technical positions, and until I realized that the time for a career path had come. I realized that I could help on the other side of products, on the management side. And yes, I think we can discuss more in depth product management in the podcast.
No, that's awesome, Renato. As my community and the community of Intuitivo knows, I'm really a big fan of yours. As just to give the community some context, I used to work with Renato. I used to have almost a year. I was a product manager in Rocket Chat. It was a great experience, one of the best experiences I had as a product manager. I am also a product manager as well, so I know I'm a big fan of Renato's work. He started as a software engineer and he realized that product management it's like having superpowers. So he wanted to go in that route professionally, and thank God that he's a product manager because he basically, as he said, he's a problem solver. And we're going to be talking about that. Just to give context to the community, I'm the CEO and founder of Intuitivo. Intuitivo is a community that started in 2019 as a tech incubator, and then we moved as an accelerator, and now we're moving as a net tech platform for product management, entrepreneurship, and high tech. So we're going to have a really good, position to become an scalable product, platform for teaching those courses in Assassin Intuitivo. So also, I'm a senior technical product manager at Yalo. Yalo, it's very funny because Yalo it's a client from RocketChat, and we use the services from RocketChat as well. So Yalo it's a conversational commerce company, and I'm very happy to be in that company as well. And just going to the questionings now, Renato, how you feel about working in a remote environment in a global startup? How has been your experience in Rocket Chat? I don't know if you can tell us a little bit about your experience, because right now everyone it's talking about going back to the office. COVID, it's no longer a talking point, and I think many companies are saying like, we want you back to the office. But I think the companies that offers remote work and have this globalized vision like Rocket Chat or Jalo are going to be making a big difference of attracting the best talent. So that's my question. Well, several questions. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So let's go through this. Yes, RocketChat is the first company that I work remotely, and I've been around for about 5 years, and I can see myself, working in a different approach. I think it's all about trust, and I believe that after COVID, other companies now they are not they were forced to follow the same, right, because they for obvious reasons, and now people realize that they can even be more productive working from home. As I said, it's all about trust. If there is trust involved, then you will likely achieve even more results. I really like that, and I really encourage people to try that, right, if possible. So it's been a great journey. Rocket Chat is a remote first company. There are people from about uh, 35 countries working for Rocket Chat. And it's interesting because, Ricardo and I, we worked together for about 1 year. We have never been in the same room. And here we are, great friendships can be made on top of this kind of methodology,
That's
approach,
true.
and so on. Yeah.
No, and that's true. One word that stuck with what you were saying, Renato, was confidence, right? Confidence, and because if you have like a sorry, if you have like a micromanagement and not have confidence in your teams, it's not going to work, right? Asynchronously kind of remote working kind of those kind of methodologies or those kind of work environments are not going to work. So yeah, I totally agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. You know, within a micromanagement environment, you don't feel encouraged to go the extra mile sometimes. And working for a startup, you need to do that. So
Yep.
I love the macromanagement approach. When you know what you need to do, and it's not about how many hours you work for a company. It's about the results you give in return, right?
Right.
And companies, they are achieving success by incorporating this approach, the ones that were not doing that before COVID.
No, that's true. That's true. And one question: how you make it in a global startup? How you can be successful in a global startup, based on your opinion, and working in Rocket Chat, Renato?
Yes, yes. It's all about culture and values, right? And here in Rocket Chat, there is also an additional component. We are a tech company, and we provide open source communication solutions. So it's something that people, they want to work for companies like that. I want to work for an open source communication solution. And as I said before, the culture and values, they are the pillars of the entire organization. It's how you scale. So if you have a strong culture and values, if people follow that, you likely achieve success.
No, that's truly awesome, right? Because there's many startups, right? But they don't if they don't have a real engagement, if they don't have a real strong culture, if they don't have a real strong values, they're not gonna stick with people, right? People are not gonna believe the the true mission or the true vision of the company, right? Where we headed, what are our goals, what are our OKRs, or what are our objectives, right? So I think it's really, yeah, I totally agree, Renato.
And in addition, Ricardo, another important note here is that developers, people from other areas, they
Hmm.
like what open source communication platforms stand for. They want to be part of that, right?
Right.
Um, and in this kind of environment, people they feel like they have room for innovation, right? They can speak up, they can share their ideas, and I strongly believe that that's the way to go, right? You need to give people room to share their ideas, what they
Right.
believe. If they don't agree with something, they need to be able to speak up. They need room, right?
No, that's true. If they have an open environment that they can share their ideas and disagreements in a respectful way, I think those are the magic kind of startups that you can start seeing the magic happen, right? Start seeing, okay, the collaboration, what works, that what doesn't work. No, that's, I totally agree. Yeah, that's
when
amazing.
you feel when you feel like you are part of the culture, and
Yeah,
because culture is constantly evolving, and
yeah,
you are part of that, you are part of
totally.
the company now, and the newcomers, they will also join this environment that you are helping to build. That's
Yeah,
something important.
amazing. We have a question, Renato, and I think you're gonna know who is asking the question. As a PM for a global startup, what is the good balance between a sync and a sync communication that still keep good decisions and deliverables?
What is the good balance between sync and sync communication? Oh, Gabriel Casals. I don't know this guy. No, just joking.
Hey, Gabriel, nice. Thank you for the good question. He's a good friend of ours. He's a senior engineering manager from RocketChat, and he's a great mind, great mentor. He's yeah, great person, great personality.
Yes, and great question. So, share my thoughts on this. Um, Successful companies, they are not driven by personal preferences. They are driven by strategy, right?
Yeah,
So once you have a strong strategy, once people believe that the organization is going in the right direction, then you don't need to have a lot of meetings every single day. You know what the job to be done is. You know where we are going. We are just following through a strategy, and it's important to have people aboard. To get their buy-in, and then you can find the right balance then between sync and async communication. Sometimes
yeah,
you need to have checkpoint meetings. You need to make decisions based on something that has just emerged. That's the real life within a startup. But overall, I would say that sync communication is a must-have. Otherwise, people will feel overwhelmed, and uh, that's not sustainable, right?
yeah. Totally, totally. And it's a really fine, delicate balance, right? Thin red line, right? Because if you have so many asynchronous or a non-async communication, people are gonna be meetings all the day, right? Or if they have many asynchronous communication, they're not gonna be speaking and they don't have that team bonding, right? So it's a really fine balance, but I totally agree with you about that strategy, having strategy, having. So that's my question. I'm gonna put this because you're gonna laugh. You both rock. um, my next question is more in line of product management. Um, how you do strategy in product management. I know that there's many people that talk about roadmaps, initiatives, strategy, vision, product vision, and those kind of stuff. But I want to know how's your flavor of product management, right, and strategy, and on your side. Uh,
Awesome. That's a That's another very interesting question because it depends. There is no right and wrong. It depends, in my opinion, on the current moment the company is going through, and the
Right.
product as well. Like in Rocket Chat as a platform, there are different products built on top of the platform, and the stage of each product is different. So I can give you an example right now. I'm sorry. The product that I am in charge of is going through a strategic transition. Because just to give you and your audience some context, I am the product manager of of a solution called Omnichannel. Is a solution for B2C communication. And originally, this product was a feature set, an important piece of the platform, but there was a corporate strategy driving the whole business. But as we are solving problems, different problems for different, we are building different products for different problems. We need to have
Hmm.
a different strategy, right, for each vertical. But ultimately, I would say that strategy is the ability to translate value stream outputs into tangible, profitable outcomes, right? Capable of causing impact the target market fit. So, um, you know, ultimately, the goal is to cause business impact, and you need to have a deep understanding of your market fit, the customer pain points, and how you will help them to solve their problems. That's how you keep your solution relevant in the market, which is a
That's
very competitive market, right?
And that's why many companies in the software industry need product managers, right? Because they need to understand not only technology, but they need to understand the marketing needs, what the business needs, right? What the what are the changes in the market, right? So no, I totally agree, right? Because sometimes many companies, they tend to forget they hire product owners, right, Renato? They hire product owners that are more tactical on the Scrum framework, but they tend to forget about strategy. They tend to forget about, let's do some market analysis, let's do the strategy, let's do the road mapping, let's do what brings more value to our company than doing this kind of feature, or feature A or feature B or feature C, right? And that's why product managers have a like a more entrepreneur mindset. And that's why my next question is about product market fit, and that's the word that it's saying not only on the product managers but also in the entrepreneur world, right? You need to achieve product market fit, right, to be a startup that starts to bring in more ARR, more annual recurring revenue, or a startup that's it's bringing more it's bringing adoption. So what is product market fit for you? Because that's an important word and very powerful word for a startup and for success, right?
So, in summary, right, I I would describe a product market fit as a sort of process, a learning curve, where you validate ideas, assumptions, where you identify the ideas that you deliver huge value to the market, right? You implement them, you launch, and you interact. Because when I look back in through my career journey, I remember that when I was working as an engineer, I thought that software and product were the same thing. They are not, right?
No.
And great companies failed because they had great products, but they were not able to market it, right? So it's also about, and by the way, within this tech market, there is no blue ocean out there. right? It's really difficult to find your market fit. So,
Yeah.
you can build a great product, but what is your uniqueness? What only your solution does that other similar applications and platforms don't. So you need to have this unique value proposition, right? And this way you can turn your solution into into a more attractive product.
I totally agree about the red ocean, blue ocean. It's not that easy, right? To achieve product
Exactly.
market fit. And no, I'm very excited what you said, Renato. Um, my next question is how you make it in a very exciting startup like Rocket Chat. Have you make it and be successful as a professional in a startup? Because many people are leaving their jobs in big companies, right, like Accenture, Akamai, IBM, and they're moving into this startup world, and because they want to have something different, right? And how you make it in this startup world, and what are the differences. So my question is how you make it and be successful, because you have been really successful, and what's the difference between a more stable kind of multinational big corporate positions and a startup, right? So those are my two questions. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you know, I really like challenges. And within the startup environment, you have plenty of them, right? And every single day is a new day, is different, right? So, um, you know, but you are not working alone. It's also about collaboration. Uh, Even though you are responsible for making important decisions because product manager is a business role, and you are not alone. So to achieve success, you need to be a facilitator. You need to inspire people to buy in. They need to believe, in your ideas. So you need to be able to um, actually, in my opinion, one of the most important skills that every single product manager must have. You need to be a good storyteller, and you need to bring the voice.
That's a great skill. Yeah.
Yeah, and you need to bring the voice of the customer into processes, because at the end of the day, you as a product manager, you are not solving problems for the company you work for. You are solving problems for your customers, right? And I also I believe that I'm lucky because throughout my journey in startup companies, I met great people, inspiring people, and they helped me. To improve my skill set, to go the extra mile, to feel encouraged to make hard decisions. And here at Rocket Chat, we have great people on the VC level, and also great people that are there every single day getting the job done. So, as I said before, to achieve success, you need to act as a facilitator and make things happen.
No, amazing, amazing. Woo! You're red hot, man. You're on fire, man. Man, that storytelling stuff on voice of the customer, it's so true. Because product managers, again, community product managers are not product owners. Okay, we are more than that. We are we're not the mini CEOs. That's also not not
Absolutely agree.
okay, because but we are problem solvers, right? We're facilitators. We're people that need to be storytellers. So we are the voice of the customer, so we can validate those hypotheses, and validate the products that we're putting in, but validating those problems and solutions and hypotheses before we release a feature. So it's important for us to have that facilitation skills. It's important for us to have those kind of storytelling skills, to have those communication skills if we want to be successful as a product manager. So no, Renato, amazing, amazing. I totally agree with you.
And if you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind, Ricardo, one more thing, right? In Within customer centric cultures, you need to be able to understand what the problems your customers are running into, what kind of problems they are facing. And the thing is, as said before, you are responsible for bringing the voice of the customer into processes. But the thing is, you need also to be able to talk to them and understand real problems, because customers, they are not used to saying what they need. They are used to saying what they want. And then we talked about requirements, not problems. So it's about your
Correct.
ability to understand the real problem, because once you are solving problems rather than just building new features, you can find problem market fit and bring huge impact for the business at scale.
Man, that's so true. Because if we are just some manufacturing kind of culture that we just receive requirements and just put it as features, we're gonna have product market fit issues, right? Yeah, I totally agree with you. So my next question is this: sometimes the developers and sometimes engineering or sometimes many people at the organizations, they say like, hey, I have this solution, I have the solution, right? But we as product managers, we come and say, hey, what is the problem? So that's my question, right? what it's wh- what's more important, the solution or the problem? Understanding the problem or understanding or having the solution? So just that's my, yeah, that's the question that I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I like to ask a lot of questions, right? Because I want to avoid any blind spot, right? Making sure that we are not missing anything. And the thing is, you as a product manager, you are not responsible for determining how the problem will be solved. You should not be, right? Your engineers, they are responsible for designing the best solution for a given product problem. Sorry. The way I picture this, there is a process. The product manager is responsible for explaining why we should work on a given initiative. Why, what is the rationale behind the initiative and other stuff like that. And I think that it's also important for the success of any initiative. You have to have a good designer, some with a good design thinking and problem thinking as well, because the designer
That's true.
is who is there to design what should be done for the problem to be solved, and together, we'll connect why, what, and how, and then break things down. Then we can turn real problem stories into initiatives, and not and deliver not just outputs but real outcomes, right? So it's a collaborative activity, in my opinion.
No, amazing. Yeah, I totally agree. I think we need to about we need to determine the why, the how, and the what. And I totally agree with you about the good designer, right? In Yalo, what we're trying to implement, it's a base camp kind of methodology or framework, Renato, that it's a fat marker. So what we do, it's like we define the problem, we define a little bit about the how, the why, the what, right? about the feature that we're trying to have some hypothesis that the customers need a solution for, and we start on sketching, right? We start sketching like fat markers with pencils, really messy. And then then with Figma, it's just for the community's sake. Figma, it's a software or platform that the visual designers or the product designers go and they construct the prototypes, right? They construct the MVPs or the prototypes in a visual way before we code it, right? And a good designer now has, okay, this is the problem, these are the key factors, this is the problem statement, and this is the possible sketch or fat marker, so I can visualize what the the product manager, and so I can put like a prototype, and then we start validating that prototype with engineering, and it becomes a collaborative kind of discovery process between different tripod departments. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
so I think it's really exciting because um, it becomes like, okay, let's validate this hypothesis. The designer comes and puts something, at least a wireframe or a mock-up, or I will say like a low fidelity prototype, and we start validating with their customers to see if it's adoption or we need to adapt or iterate over or not.
Yeah. I was about to mention the same. Uh, the resolution of a given problem starts from usually some sort of discovery, user research, because with discovery you will find out what the competition is doing, and we will end up with a good understanding of what you can and what we cannot, what we should and what we should not do. We are not just looking for the right answers, but also what you should avoid. um,
Correct.
and then you can because honestly, to deliver value you do not need to recreate the wheel all the time. There is low hanging fruit out there. There is legacy knowledge. You just need to make sure that whatever you are building is building on top of your visual identity, and you are delivering the best user experience possible, because at the end of the day, that's how users interact with your solution. It's how value is discovered, is perceived, and not told. And that's a key element for the success of any solution, right? And I love this transition from low to high fidelity prototypes. And
Yeah.
here at Rocket Chat, we like to bring customers into processes. We want to share with them the evolution and the progress of the initiatives, and collect feedback. It's really nice to strengthen your relationship with your customers as well. When they feel like they are part of the problem, they can share their pain points, and then you can make sure also that you are going the right direction, solving problems
Yeah.
for not just one single customer, for an entire market.
And that's really powerful what you said, Renato. Understanding the customer pain points, right? Because many companies or many startups, they just want to be a manufacturing company. Okay, let's just release, and they don't understand the pain points of the customers, and this is key if they want to have product market fit, right?
Yes, because in terms of, even we didn't talk about metrics, but one of the goals of every product manager is to care about metrics such as the customer lifetime value, right? We want to increase it. So when your customers feel like that you are there listening to their pain points, you're also building lasting and loyalty relationships. That's also important for the success of your business, right? It's not just about customer acquisition. but also retention. Even because retention is much cheaper than acquisition. So it's all about your customers.
And that's really key what you said, because we have different metrics, right? We have lifetime value, or and then we have customer acquisition, which is CAC, and also we have churn, right? And it's when a client or a customer churn, it's pretty much, I don't know what it's the percentage, but it's pretty much lost, right? Try to recover that kind of customer, it's pretty much almost impossible, right?
Yes.
So if we can retain and have fidelity in of the customers that we already have, it's better than to acquire customers via CAC, or even or the churn customers that we already lost. So yeah,
Yeah. Customer acquisition cost is much higher
it's
than
much higher. Yeah.
retention. So you need to take care of your customers. Otherwise, another solution will go after them.
Yeah, and the competition is fierce in technology.
Exactly.
Um, let's see. I don't know. Another question that I have. We'll already talk about remote working. We'll already talk about product management. Um, let's see. How is Brazil? No, just kidding. How is just to give our community a little bit of insights? Renato, it's from you live in Porto Alegre, right, Renato?
1 hour away from Porto Alegre,
Okay,
a small town. I like this kind of lifestyle, and
awesome.
yes, but I'm 1 hour from the capital of my state,
From
Porto
Porto
Alegre.
Alegre, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's a big country, Brazil. Brazil, it's continental country, so
it
it's
is.
funny because in Jalo we also have Brazilians,
I know.
like I don't know, like 20 or 25 Brazilians, and many they live like in Porto Alegre, Floripa, Sao Paulo, and they're like, "Hey, Ricardo, you need to go to Brazil," and it's like, man. I will need to book like 30 days of vacation just to to visit all of you, because they live like in different parts of Brazil, everywhere. So it's like, man, and also I need to go to Porto Alegre to visit you as well, and so yeah,
And
it's so big.
and for those who don't know, you mentioned before, right, Ricardo? There is a partnership between RocketChat and Yalo,
Yeah,
and you know we have some meetings, and do you know why I know they live in different locations? Do you know?
yeah.
Because of the accent. It's
Ah,
very
yes, because of the accent. Yes, that's true. Like in Latin American, I talk Spanish, of course. So in Latin America, like in Central America, we talk different Spanish, right? And also in
really,
the big
yeah.
countries like Mexico, Colombia, they talk different accents, right? It's the same shit in Brazil. Yeah,
Yes, it is. Because as you mentioned, Brazil is a very big country, and there are different cultures. Um,
yeah,
and when we can gather together, when we can chat and have a sort of informal conversation, we can talk about different cultures, and I am like traveling. I like to visit new places.
right,
In Brazil there's a lot of them. So whatever, wherever I go, I like to talk to people, to feel their culture. And
right.
accent is just one element, of the culture. In terms of food, it's different. In terms of weather, it's different, and that's amazing, right? When you
And,
can meet when you can meet new people and understand their own culture.
and that's amazing, right? Because what I discovered in Rocket Chat and also now in Yalo, it's that people not only from Brazil, but people from all the parts of Latin America and also all the parts of the world, right?
Yeah.
Europe, the US, I don't know, New Zealand, Australia. So the culture, it brings you like you start like, it's so fun. And that's what's amazing about Rocket Chat. And kudos to Gabriel Angel about constructing that kind of company, that it's all in about accepting remote work and accepting, it doesn't matter where you are, you can come work with us. And if you fit our culture, you're gonna rock, right? You're gonna be a rocketeer, right? So it's so great about this culture that you can become friends, and you can have friends and also you can extend your networking, right? So you can know friends for from everywhere in the world. So that's truly amazing.
I absolutely agree. And, Rocket Chat is a global company since day one. You know, yes, a very small company, but that was the strategy, right? And I agree. Gabriel did a great job building Rocket Chat on top of this culture. And
Yeah.
just to let you know, about 2 months ago, we had our conference, internal conference, our
Yeah.
summit,
Your summit.
and
Yeah.
we finally gathered together. A lot of people within the same room, people who you work together, you meet every single day, and then you can talk about different stuff, not just work, right? People were eager to meet each other and to exchange culture, right? You can your the culture of the company benefits a lot from this kind of initiative.
Yeah, I totally. I think one of the best things that Rocket Chat offers is their annual summit that they have, that they bring everyone together. It's amazing. It's amazing. In Yalo, they have smaller between teams. They don't do like a big conference, but they do offsites between teams. But at least like for example, I had mine in April, that I went, and we have like the platform teams, and we went into Antigua, Guatemala, and we were like Brazilians, people from Mexico, people from Ecuador, people from Peru, people from everywhere in Latin America, and it was fun, right? We even played paintball, and it was like the people from Guatemala, which are more people from Guatemala in the teams, and the other people from other countries or the international countries, and we kick ass. The international countries, we won the paintball trials, so we
Really,
were like, yes, the international countries, we're the best.
that's fun.
So, yeah, so but I think those are the things that are making a difference in this kind of startups, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're bringing remote working, they're unifying, different people with different cultures, and they're making people have they're bringing their cultures, their creatives, their creativity, their it doesn't matter the language. You can unify the language in English, for example, and it doesn't matter, and they can bring um their own piece of the cake, or that's what I trying to mean, right? They
I
can
get it.
bring on their own piece of the pie into the company, and bring and make a difference, right? So I think it's amazing what Rocket Chat and in a smaller degree, Jalo are been doing in terms, and
That's
it's
awesome.
bringing a difference from other companies like Accenture or Akamai, or other companies that say like, hey, you can be remote but only in your country, right? Or you can be remote, but only in these countries, or we have many people from other countries, but you're not really interacting with them all the time, right? Those are the key differences, right?
Yes, and in relation to organizing these events, as the company grows, um, it's really difficult to organize such an event.
Yeah.
Um, the first, I remember the first annual summit. I participated about 5 years ago.
It was
The
like
team
20
size,
people.
yeah, the team size was about 20, 30 people. And now we're talking about, 150, 200 people, coming
Yeah,
from different locations around of the globe. It's not easy, man. And
yeah.
just a couple of days, a lot of discussions and so on. So yes, kudos for people who are there organizing, such a big event.
Yeah, it's kudos for them because, for example, for our offsite, Jalo, it's a bigger company than RocketChat because they have like 350 people. So, for example, just our offsite was 80 people. So there were like, okay, and it was pretty crazy and stressful just to organize that offsite with that team, right? With different teams, right? I cannot imagine an annual summit which 200 people from Rocket Chat everywhere dispersed in the world. It has been, I don't know, the people, the head and people and everyone. I don't know. It has been crazy.
Yes, definitely.
We have some questions. I'm going to put it here.
Oh, I know this guy again. So
He has good questions, man.
he's enjoying the podcast.
Yeah.
Positive feedback. So, what are the boundaries of PM versus engineering versus sales versus marketing? Um, so that's a good question, right? Because uh, it's a it's all about the product life cycle, in my opinion, right? Um, as we just talked, you need to be able to identify the right problems to solve. It's not just about doing things right, but also doing the right things. And I believe that here's exactly where the PM comes in. You know, um, then you need to be able to implement, deliver with high quality. So the engineers are in charge of this process, but that's not enough. Just launching a product is not enough. You need to market it and create um, an effective strategy to sell it. So, at the end of the day, within a product-led growth companies, each department is there to help each other. It's not just about um, doing software. It's how you can build a real product capable of solving the right problems, market it, and sell it. So it's a journey, right? And that's the reason I am a big fan of the product-led growth culture. Because within this culture, the product is responsible for acquisition, and then
Yeah.
if you are delivering high quality products, if um, the right customers to sell it, you will achieve success. But it's not just one single department making decisions. It's a process, it's a culture, and all departments, they need to help each other.
I love what you said about product led growth kind of mindset, right? It's and it's not that easy, right?
Not at all.
I'm gonna put the other question. I don't know. What are the cultural aspects of product led growth in a global startup? In the same tone, man.
Yes. So we have a new fan here, Ricardo. Uh,
We have a new fan, yeah.
so in early stages, the startups, they tend to be feature driven for obvious reasons. That's a very common growth strategy, right? But I would say that in mid and in long term, it doesn't scale. So the sooner the real product market fit is found, uh, the better, right? So at some point, you need to find, your market fit and scale. And I strongly believe that product-led growth culture can help you to speed up the process. Because at the end of the day, the main goal of product-led growth is to deliver value, to progressively deliver value. I can even mention the SaaS market. SaaS market is usually a self-service environment. Your prospects, they are there. You don't even know they are there if you have SaaS trial, and then you need to walk them through the high value capabilities, the high value features. There is no salesperson there, right? There is no sales enablement here. They're helping them um, to figure out what the product is capable of. So again, I believe that product-led growth can help companies to deliver value, to bring value forward. That's my point, right? Because as I said before, it's all about value discovery, and the sooner your prospects hit the aha moment, the better, because they will understand what your product is capable of.
That's amazing. The aha moment. Do you know that the product management tool that it's called aha?
I don't.
There's a product management tool that it's called aha, and it's because of that phrase that you said, Renato, the aha moment. And that's really cool because it's the aha moment that you said, like, oh, I achieved that product market fit, and I'm not and then I'm going product led growth. And that formula, basically what I'm trying to say, it's like I have the formula and the blend, so I can scale, right?
Absolutely
That's my
agree.
aha moment. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
And when a prospect realizes that this is a solution that will solve my problems, then they hit the habit moment, when they go beyond and using your product becomes an habit. That's
Wow,
the ultimate goal, right?
that's the ultimate dream. Like I don't know,
Exactly.
TikTok, Facebook, Stripe.
Absolutely.
I don't know those kind of platforms that we just say like, hey, I don't know. And that's my next question. What do you think about Chat GTP now?
Oh man, that's crazy. Um, you
I,
know,
I'm gonna put just this one. It's in Spanish, but it's saying invitado y entrevistador de lujo.
oh,
Guest, you're a luxury kind of guest and invitee. So yeah, it's from Manu. Manu, it's my co-founder. It's saying that yeah, it's you have been a great guest and invitee in this podcast.
that's really
Likewise.
appreciate. Thanks. So I am still figuring it out. That's crazy.
Is Chat GTP gonna be connected to Rocket Chat? Because I know that Rocket Chat it's like an ecosystem that it's gonna be hooked with everything.
Who knows? Once ChatGPT is GDPR compliance, we can make it happen.
Yes.
No, but man, a few days ago I was playing around ChatGPT because I am a big fan of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other stuff like that. And man, that's crazy. Right now we are building, as I mentioned before, we are building a brand new strategy for the still for the solution that is still called omnichannel. It's going to change,
Yeah.
so stay tuned. But anyway, and we believe that with the incorporation of machine learning and artificial intelligence mechanisms into Rocket Chat, we can create something. We can create we can build innovation on top of our strategy. I mean, the idea is to be a data privacy by design, data privacy and protection compliance, and we believe that we can achieve great results on top of artificial intelligence. And then I was trying to do some stuff like, hey, I ask a question. Can you please identify all of the PII information I'm sharing here? And man, that was crazy. All of the
It's crazy.
PII, personal identifiable information, uh, was highlighted. That was crazy. I have never seen such capability before.
No, and it's crazy. It's becoming an industry, not only Chat GTP, right? I have seen in TikTok, like for example, it has Chat Sonic, Synthesia. It's like a company that offers video, that you put your video, and it has an AI that talks and presents like presentations or videos, and you can tell him whatever you want, and he can be a girl or a man talking, and you can put and hook uh, chat GTPs. So for example, your chatbots in the past are way over, they're dead. So
That's
now you don't need the chatbot, right? You have a person, you can chat and ask that person, and it's a face or a man talking to you, and it gives you all the answers.
that's something else. But I am still figuring out what is
Yeah.
the core purpose of ChatGPT. I don't know yet.
No, we don't know. But my next question is this: are we in the next wave of a technical revolution, like, I don't know, social networking, like 10, 15 years before? Is this gonna change everything? Uh,
I get it. I hope so because I believe in a world without silos in terms of communication. You know, and in here in Rocket Chat, we've been working on a very specific project that's called Federation. And Federation is a solution built on top of Matrix protocol. What is
Matrix
the core
protocol, yeah.
what is the core purpose of Matrix protocol? Remove silos. And imagine a world where you can initiate a conversation on WhatsApp, and somebody on WeChat can reply or something like that. It's kind of crazy thing, right? I don't know if will ever be possible, but it would be awesome. Remove the disruption in digital communication, right? That's actually one of, in my opinion, one of the results of the digital transformation, right? And when it comes to innovation, innovation is not exactly about technology, but your ability to adjust to change in user behavior.
Yeah.
And here's exactly where innovation comes in. So if there is a problem and there is a technology capable of solving that problem, why not? But again, I'm not sure if you were ready yet, but I believe we are going in the right direction.
No, I think the two biggest the two companies, or companies more innovative that I have worked in my life, have been RocketChat and now Jalo. Because for
That's
example,
right.
Jalo, it's making things that I'm so crazy, right? They're crazy. Like, they're in conversational commerce applied to WhatsApp, connected to WhatsApp, right? And they're doing recommendation with applied intelligence and machine learning, and they're gonna be revolutionize the CPG or bottler industry, right? So um, they're doing some crazy stuff that it's just crazy. And Rocket Chat is the most secure open source community in the world, right? but the matrix protocol that you can unify. I don't know, you can talk in WeChat and you can it responds in WhatsApp, or it can respond, I don't know, in Discord, or it can respond in, I don't know, whatever you want. And I don't know if you can connect Chat GTP and you can connect whatever you want there. It's gonna, man, if you achieve that, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna
So
blow your minds.
it's up to the product managers to bring those ideas, right? Or at least
Yeah.
to boost innovation, right?
Yes.
So yes, let's see how it goes. I have good feelings, but
Me too.
digital transformation is not something easy. It takes time, right? Because there is legacy technologies out there. It's not
Technical
easy.
debt.
Exactly. So it's not so easy to shut things down and now let's replace an old technology with a new one.
Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, we already have an hour, but just give me. It has been one of the best podcasts that I have been, Renato.
Well,
You're an
glad to
amazing
hear that.
guest. Man, you're amazing. I know Gremio already get the favorite team, the soccer, football. I don't say soccer, but well, football. Jogo Bonito from Brazil. They got Luis Suarez in their team, so it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna be watching those games. And my last question is, um, where Renato see in terms of your career development as a product manager, I don't know, in 5 years? And that's my
So
last question, man. Just to wrap up.
yeah, time flies, right? That's so sad. So you know, my primary goal now is to master product management discipline. We know that as mentioned before, product management is a business role, and what I really want to do is to for Rocket Chat. I wanna go the extra mile. I want to cross boundaries. It's time to be bold, and what I want to do is to really create business impact and learn throughout the journey. Obviously, I want to grow in my career. I am looking at head of product, something like that. But I need to be prepared for the next level. So my main goal is to progressively deliver value for Rocket Chat and enjoy the journey. Right. I want to master this discipline, and you know I think that's it.
We're gonna be cheering up and supporting you in your career, Renato. Both
Oh, that's so great.
myself and Intuitivo, and we're gonna be cheering up and supporting your career. We know that you're gonna be soon head of product soon in Rock and Chat or whatever you aim as goals in your life. You're gonna rock. You're gonna
Oh,
rocketeer. You're gonna fly high into space because you're a good first. You're a good individual, a good person, and I think people. One of the key phrases that I have learned during my career is people do not remember titles, fancy titles, or do not remember your positions in the companies. They remember if you were a good person or not, right?
I
And
agree.
you're a good person, man.
Likewise.
And also and also I think your capacity to solve problems, your capacity to unify, to be that storyteller, and the capacity to solve quite complex problems, because Rocket Chat it's a complex innovator company, right? And you were a guru in my time in the ability for you to understand and apply those product management skills and product management frameworks in a way that you did. They were amazing. So we will be supporting, cheering up your your career as a product manager, and also we know that you're going to be flying high, hopefully as a head of product very soon. And thank you for this podcast. It has been great. It's our first podcast of many that we're going to have. We're going to be combining it between English, Spanish, and hopefully I'm going to be learning some Portuguese. So hopefully my next podcast with you are going to be in Portuguese, not English or Spanish, so we can be talking and having a more broader audience in Brazil. Uh, but with your accent, man.
Ricardo,
I don't know your final words, man.
yeah, just to wrap up wrap things up here. It was amazing. It was an honor to be here, to be your guest, and I really like this kind of conversation, open topics, and your audience asking questions. Gabriel is a very fan of your podcast from now on, and
Yes.
and count on me. I will be here. I will be around. Um, you know, I can say the same words you say to me. I can say the same. I am a big fan of yours, and I'll be here cheering for you. And thanks for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you, Renato. I really appreciate. And community, thank you so much. Renato Becker, he's great. Follow him in his LinkedIn account. Also follow us in Intuitivo, our social networks, double N. Because why double N? Because of innovation. So follow us. And this wrap ups our first podcast of 2023. Thank you, Renato. You're amazing. You rock, man.
Thank you, man.
Take care, man. Bye.
Bye bye.